Hi, cities. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I am really thinking and wondering how Black people went from DEI, okay, from N word, woke to DEI, okay, from BLM, and now DEI. And each time they talk about DEI, you all already know that they do not mean it in a good way. So it is amazing how diversity, equity, and inclusion went from that to something else. Now, Black people are now the DEI, like a slur. And each time they talk about DEI, they meant that Black person, if you're a Black person, that you are not qualified to have whatever you are saying. And this woman is saying that Black people or some people that have been already tricked to think that each time they talk about DEI, that they are talking about Black people. That people that think like that are ignorant. Sincerely speaking, if there is anybody that is ignorant, it definitely will be you that looks so puffy and bulky, right? Because you all already know what you all meant by saying that. I have also come across somebody, that made a video and said, if I see a Black doctor, what am I supposed to say to him? If I see a Black pilot, I will be so scared to fly with him because I will ask, did he get his did he get that by merit, or is just something he cheated on? You know what? Let's get into this video.
All right, grab a seat. Today we're going to talk about DEI, how it affects way more people than you think of, and how the ignorant have been tricked to think it's only referring to African American people. No, I have no idea where that came from. Kevin Roberts is right behind me, isn't he? What are you looking at, thumbnail? A reporter from Mother Jones went into the Heritage Foundation meeting, and this think tank thought that DEI was a hidden agenda of BLM. No, I wasn't aware that a think tank was thunking on conspiracy theories. These alleged scholars, thought leaders. PSYOP! Here's what's ironic. These so-called products of the best schools in our country. Well, they couldn't take 5 minutes to read. Why would they do that? I mean, if they did, they would realize it applies to more than just race. Fun fact, as a veteran, it applies to me. Probably some of you. Those of the LGBTQ community, those with disabilities, women, heck, all religions. So if you're of a non-Christian religion, this applies to you too. It's more than just Black people. So if you have been using DEI in a negative connotation, congratulations. Think tank thunk it for you. 'Cause you can't think for yourself. Project 2025 seeks to remove all DEI for workers in the federal government, in all schools, in lower education and higher education. It's the same tactic we talked about in the school voucher program they propose in Project 2025, down over there. Like any right to hire state, you just won't be a good fit. Any of those categories: veteran, woman, LGBTQ, any other religion than Christianity. I mean, if you're a white Christian man, you're good. They're just not going to tell you if you're not. But here's what a think tank did thunk. If we play off people's ignorance and internalized racism, we can use it to pass legislation to remove all DEI. Does this affect you? Sound off in the comments, because chances are it does. And call it my need to quantify things, to see if we outnumber them. This is mass scale exclusion. The Constitution says we have the same rights as they do. If they didn't exclude, we wouldn't need these things. Just another attack on the Constitution that was think tank thunk. Now you know. Knowing is half the battle.
So this morning, while I was taking my niece home, or to the airport so she could fly home, she informed me that the college that she goes to is getting rid of all of its diversity programs within the college. All right. I come home and I'm looking on Instagram over at my friend Politics by Tabitha, who's on Instagram. You need to go follow her and read that the National Association of Black Journalists is inviting Donald Trump to speak. And here are some of the quote unquote Black journalists that are going to be welcoming this man. Rachel Smith from ABC News, Harris Faulkner from Fox News, and Kadia Gaba from Semaphore, I believe. All right. Now, Roland Martin, who was a black journalist, he wasn't invited. In fact, he even said it in a tweet. Nope. NABJ didn't ask me or any other black male journalist. Okay? Didn't ask him or any other black journalist. In which he goes in, he says, I would comment on the NAGB person involved with this Trump invite, but at TIA Reports has me blocked. Looks like I'll be joining the NABJ political task force. So this person he's talking about, I helped make this call and it is in line with invitations NAJB has sent to every other presidential candidate for decades. But continue to go off on your feed. I'll continue to work to create opportunities for journalists to interview the potential next president. This is where both what is going on my niece's college campus and this shit collide. We, as a society, are normalizing fuckery. And I got a huge problem with that. I got the biggest problem on earth with that. Let me show you how we are normalizing fuckery on the college campuses. Ladies and gentlemen, diversity is organic. It happens in a society as diverse as the United States. There are almost 330 million Americans. Okay? We are not all white. We're not all male. We're not all Protestant Christians. We're not all Saxons. We're none of that shit. Okay? We come from a fucking cornucopia of diversity. Okay? So trying to run from diversity in a country like this is asinine. Okay? It is an organic thing. When somebody smokes marijuana, that is a plant. It is grown, they cut it, they dry it, boom. A coca plant grows. They process it and turn it into cocaine. Okay? That's a process. What these people believe, that something as organic as marijuana growing, and then just going from grown to smoke, is being manufactured like you do cocaine. No. In a country this diverse, diversity is organic. It's going to fucking happen. You're going to have different people within each different individual group that will have different ideas and interpretations of things of that nature because we live in a country of almost 330 million Americans. The fact that there are so many people running from the words diversity, equity, and inclusion are incredible to me. They really are. Something that organically happens, diversity. With people who give a fuck about a country and want to see the country succeed for every one of us, equity. And who want to have their voices, their ideas, their loves, their hates, their wants, desires not only respected, but put in place. Inclusion. So that is a normal thing. It is normal. It is organic. But on the other end of the spectrum, a group of black journalists who deal with who, what, where, when, why. They deal with facts over feelings. They deal with information. They deal with data over the idea of your IBS, aka your gut feelings, is inviting a man who literally lives off of feelings over facts to speak to them. Why? If a man walks up to you and lies to you about your house being on fire, you run home, drive home, whatever the hell you got to do, run through all the red lights, only to get home and find out that your house is not on fire. Are you going to let that man tell you any fucking thing else that you are going to believe? No, you're not, especially if you're a journalist. And the fact that these people invited this motherfucker without people like Roland Martin being there to ask them the tough questions is asinine and ridiculous. It reminds me of Trump speaks to a black church and they mustered up a magical, unheard of We couldn't find another one if we tried 6 black people to sit and listen as Donald Trump spoke in a black church to his regular trailer park crowd. It was a lie. It was a fictionalized lie. And that is what Donald Trump deals in. He deals in spectacle rather than substance. So why are you normalizing talking to this person? This is what I am talking about. Something that is organic, we're running from. Something that literally is a virus. And the journalists are supposed to be the antibodies of said virus. They're just going to go talk to him because he might be the next president of the United States, which means you are more concerned about access to power than you are holding power accountable, which is what the job of a journalist is supposed to be. This is the society we live in right now. Something that you know is going to happen, regardless of what the fuck you feel. Let's get rid of it. Let's label it DEI. Every brown person that has a job is a DEI hire. Not the fact that they're fucking highly intelligent and overqualified for jobs. DEI. Said to you by a bunch of white people, some of which are some of the most mediocre motherfuckers on the planet. And then you have college campuses in predominantly white institutions that are literally capitulating to people who, some of which don't even have the capacity to even tell you why they don't like diversity, and it comes off as sounding racist. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have those who are supposed to speak truth to power. Journalists, whether they're black, white, gay, straight, old, young, male, female, Republican, Democrat, speaking truth to power. Things you can hear with your ears, see with your eyes, facts that you can Google at any given point. They are in turn going to entertain somebody who is literally for the past 8 years ran on nothing but spectacle. Nothing but spectacle. It is the shiny shit over the factual shit. This is where American society is today. This is where we are today. When we are normalizing the idea of ignoring something that naturally happens in a society as diverse as the United States to assuage the feelings of people who do not like that diversity in the first place, and then normalizing having a complete, crooked, convicted felon of a liar speak to people who are supposed to hold this man accountable because he wants to be in the most powerful seat in America. Oh, let's let him sit there and talk to us about lies and feelings and woe is me because he might be president one day. And oh my goodness, we have to have access to power. Fuck the truth. Let's have access to power, even if that access to power is to a person who you know for a fact is not going to give you any truth. Therefore, you're not even going to be able to do your damn job because you're not going to fact check him because you're afraid to lose access to power. This is where American society is. We're in the fucking upside down from Stranger Things. When something organic is treated as if it's a bad thing, but something that should be a fucking bad thing is treated like it's normal. Somebody make this fucking shit make sense to me because I don't understand it.
So this is all I got from this video. And sincerely speaking, the way the whole thing is going, it looks like the way they talk about DEI, it's really not in a good way. We already know that at some point we thought it was them not using the N word and then woke and then now DEI. It's more like a slur to them. But this is now, it's more like BLM. Like, I just don't understand where they got all that from. And then they said that we are thinking that ignorant people. So black people are now the ignorant people. that we are thinking that our DEI is used to refer to Black people, which is what you all use to refer people that look like me. And I am sincerely hoping to understand how we got there, how all of a sudden we became DEI. And now, not only that, they call us DRI. You all already know that they don't call it in a good way. And all of a sudden, I also found out that they also, when each time they talk about DEI, they always say it in a way that we are not qualified to get anything. I mean, like, just like when they see us, probably a doctors and all that, first thing they will ask is he qualified to be a doctor or is she qualified to be a lawyer? And time without numbers. Black people have experienced so much discrimination, especially when it comes to their field of specialization or their workplaces and all that. Because each time they come in contact with people that look like this, the first thing they ask them is, are you really qualified for this? Or you probably got this. You did not get this on merit. Probably it was through DEI and all that. And I also remember seeing a white man who said that if I see a Black doctor, what am I supposed to talk to the Black doctor? What am I supposed to discuss with a Black doctor? Like, where will I start from? That also tells me how people can go extra mile to make you look like a fool or make you really look like a bad person or like you do not know what you are doing. By so doing this, trust me, there is no how I am going to, it's just, if it's not discrimination on people really being rare disease, I really don't see how I am probably going to see maybe, and let me say, maybe like an Asian woman that is a doctor, and instead of going to her or letting her attend to me, first of all, I am sizing her up or trying to know if she is qualified to be, I mean, to attend to me and all that. That is the highest grade, like, it's actually madness. Really, it's madness. Or I have seen them say, if I see a Black pilot, the first thing I am going to ask is how did he get the qualification? I mean, I am not going to be comfortable seeing a Black pilot because I feel like he probably got that on merit, like, he did not merit that. And so it means that whatever we have, we do not deserve to have something good, or we do not deserve to, like, have quality things, because we are, like they already said, that we are not capable of, or we are not intellectually smart to handle some certain things, that we are only built for the labor. And aside from anything that got to do with labor, we are not supposed to be in managerial skills and do some certain kind of jobs. But the good part is that I love it when I see Black people doing Black job, because it gives me joy. I have really seen during the period they said Black people doing Black job. Oh my goodness, I was able to see so many Black people doing great job for themselves. Renters, lawyers, doctors, nurses, like I saw so many people, and I am really so proud of how far Black people have come. I mean, especially in that place you people are. So salute to everybody doing all they can to keep moving. But all the people that keep talking about DEI and saying we are this, we are that, I really hope that someday you all will experience what Black people have been going through all these years. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.